Gemini.
Hello Gemini, this is your astrological forecast for April 2016, and you had that solar eclipse in your 10th house there in March, so that must have done something for you as it's put you on that super highway where things now are starting to unfold, and here we can see what April is going to be bringing for you. You're going to hear me talk a whole lot about the 11th house this month, and this is because we've got a whole crowd of planets in there as we start off the month, and then Venus is going to follow and join in as well, and them being in the sign of Aries. Well, Mars is over here in Sagittarius, creating an angle here and also triggering these planets, which is going to give us a whole lot of dynamic oomph here. So we have the Sun, we have Mercury, we got Uranus, we got the new moon in the 8th house, and no, in the 11th house, sorry, for hopes and dreams and expansion there. You're going to be socially very, very active. New people might come upon your path, and in that case, it's like magic. They're meant to be there, and you'll come to see how some of them might just open up a door for you as well. What I love about this new moon, and of course that's when we put down our intentions for the month. It's also when we write that abundance check to ourselves. But what I love about this new moon though is that it's going to be conjunct Uranus. Now Uranus is like Pandora's box. It opens up and we never know what we get. But this conjunction here should be very, very powerful and give you a certain surprise. So this new moon here, it will be on the 7th or 8th depending on where you live. But in this area, some hope, some dream now coming towards it, and I can just see how you're already starting to feel the surge, feel the charge, that wave is lifting and rising here. So I really love to see what's up here for you this month, Gemini, because it's such a happy-go-lucky month. Anything could actually essentially happen. Venus is going to join this crowd, but as we start out the month, she's still in Pisces, as she was there in March. And think about Venus being gentle and romantic and artsy and so forth. Well, it loves to be in Pisces because Pisces represents a lot of those same energies too. The artsiness, the spirituality, and it is in the 10th house for your career. So March must have been really good for you. And after that first week of April, it will join the crowd there in the 11th house with your hopes and dreams, and having Venus here, well, then you can see how things are going to be fired up and super, super exciting. Mars is currently in your relationship house, the 7th house area, and that is dynamite. You know, that is you, your drive. You might find yourself being more focused on your partner. It could also be you finding that your partner is now more focused on you, wanting, needing more of your attention. And all that is good. We like that. Mars comes to this area once every 2 years and gives us X amount of weeks to actually go in and shore things up, get all our ducks in a row, how we essentially and typically would like to have our relationship to function. Now, you're going to get an extended time to do this because on the 18th of April, Mars is going to retrograde to June 29th. Then it's moved way back and probably into your 6th house here in the sign of Scorpio to kind of wrap up all loose ends of what you were working on there in February, March, and then come back into your relationship area and have X amount of weeks. So you can see, I believe until at least July coming into August, Mars is going to do you a lot of good favors if you use it correctly. Mars can be combative. If we don't use it correctly, then we can become a little bit too pushy, a little bit too dominant, or it could be your partner acting up in that way, which is not really a good thing. So that's the only thing to be aware of. But constructive use of Mars is like using a laser to really cut out that beautiful path that you're trying to establish. I do like when Mars is in Sagittarius because Sagittarius is also a fire sign, and so is Mars. So what that does, Sagittarius always loves to have goals on the horizon, long-term goals. So having Mars here, I believe that most of you are going to really start creating some long-term goals in your relationship of where you see yourself, not just down the road the next few weeks or however long Mars is going to last here. No, this is you making plans for the future, how you want your next few years to look like, because it's going to be 2 years before Mars comes back to empower this area. We also have a few more retrogrades here, Gemini. We have Pluto will retrograde on the 19th, straight through that of September 26th. Pluto works in your 8th house. It has a long transit. You still got several more years to go with it working here. But when it retrogrades, it takes a little step back. It rests up a little bit. And what that typically will do for you is now giving you more time to think of your long-range investments. Not just your monthly income, but your it's like whatever it is that you do like to invest in, whether it's a stock market or whatnot. It's time to really look over this area with your partner and see how could you guys save, how can you empower your future with what you do here today. So you have that going on. And Jupiter, of course, Jupiter is retrograde until May 10th. That's next month. And it is currently transiting through your 4th house, and we've talked about that in the past. So Jupiter has been working on wanting to create more space, more room in your foundation, whether that is emotional room or a physical space room. And some of you have seen that you've moved or you're still in the throes of thinking about wanting to move. In that case, it's a great time because Jupiter will be here until late summer, but then won't return for the next 12 years. So you can see, if you're planning to do anything, now would be the time to do so over these next few months. But let's start out top of the month. And of course, you might want to listen to your Tarot because the cards show a different type of reading of what you can expect when we see that we have this full month ahead with perfect, beautiful transits, which I'm going to line out for you right now. You want to see where the cards are coming in, giving you more detail on a different level. But on the 5th, the first trine we have, which is 120-degree transit, the Sun is you, Saturn is what you're trying to master, Saturn being in the 7th house, so it's you, your partner, and your hopes and dreams is coming together with great news on the 5th. On the 7th, we have that new moon in your 11th house, your hopes and dreams, the area of being socially very, very busy and working with groups and organizations. Well, this new moon starts a new cycle between now and next month, but it's being fired off here with Uranus, which can give it an extra spin of something unexpected and hopefully a surprise, a good surprise. On the 12th here, Gemini, it is what you want to circle on your calendar as a perfect date night. Venus and Mars, they're operating together, doing the dance, also with a trine aspect. So I see romance is running high and Mars is really powering up behind it. If you're single, well, this would also be a great time for you to come to meet somebody. So don't sit at home. It is out amongst people that you can have the greatest fun now if you're single, with Venus there in that 11th house, and then Mars coming in from your relationship area. Then we have through the 14th and 19th situations that are coming in back to back. Mercury, which is the messenger, is first going to deliver some great news to you from Jupiter. Whoa, that is really something that's expansive, that is full of generosity, which Jupiter always is, bringing opportunities, new news. If you're looking for a job, this could be it. You might find the perfect one. If it is about travel, well, then you will have that as well. Jupiter, though, being in your 4th house, it could come from a family member, this great news. On the 17th, Mercury, again, the messenger, bringing fantastic news from Pluto, which has to do with shared resources or money and security, royalties, commissions, that kind of thing. And so these two are going to work together to actually set something up, which I feel once, if you need to sign something, you can do so still, since Mercury is still not retrograde, but it can empower you for the long run. On the 18th, we're talking about money here, Venus and Saturn coming together in a trine. So again, more great news if you need to sign a contract. And I say contract because Saturn loves to kind of ground things and secure them, lock them down, right? Saturn being in your 7th house, that is a partnership type of communication and agreement between the two of you, which is going to secure both you and your partner in the long run. Venus being in that 11th house for hopes and dreams, so this should be good for you. I think, this month is absolutely fabulous for you, Gemini, but just be aware. It's like, it's seldom we get through a month without something hitting the wall, right, with a challenge, and that we will have on the 19th. So here you've had back-to-back several days with great news and you're cruising along, and here comes a power struggle about either money or love. This is because Venus here, which rules both areas, is squaring off on Pluto, and so you might not see eye to eye or heart to heart. And so the thing is, the clue and the wisdom of this day is to not get into it. Try to backtrack and say, I hear you, but let me think about it. If you do, it won't be more than just a couple of days that you need, because on the 22nd, Uranus is going to come to that same Venus with a solution out of the blue, and that seems like that might just open up a great new beginning, and then you can wave goodbye to whatever energy was created there on the 19th. And I really love the 22nd here with this aspect of surprises, because it's also going to be floodlit by the full moon. And the full moon this month here, Gemini, is in your 6th house for your daily routines. It's you getting all your ducks in a row, wanting to actually now power up on what works and get out what doesn't work. It's in the sign of Scorpio, so we're talking deeply here, your inner emotions, what's really important to you and your partner. So you will come to see that this full moon will illuminate those things that are important. You're kind of getting ready for the full moon here next month, which will be in that relationship house. So right now, it's the prelude to it. Whatever you can set straight right now, you're going to have a glorious full moon next month. But more about that in May when I get back to you. Then listen to your horoscopes, but also remember to listen to your moon and your rising sign, both in the astrology, but you can also do that when you listen to the horoscopes as well, just the same, right? Okay, so enjoy April. I will see you there in May. Bye now.